Hello there. Welcome to Recorder 101, Lesson 18. I'm actually recording this a couple of days early. Actually, a couple of days just after the Lesson 17. Because I really wanted to. I noticed when I was practicing later that day, because I did, that I was having difficulty. I've got my tenor out, but actually I was practicing on my alto when I noticed I was having some challenges. Okay. So I went and looked in my files and found several different sort of like worksheets. And I'm going to be getting those to you, not all at once, just one at a time. The one that I'm working from first is actually adapted from a guitar playing website, Jamplay, and it was their 30-minute guitar practice template meant to last for 6 days. And the way they had their template, you would take a new sheet of paper and fill it out every day. Maybe that works for you. I wanted to have enough so that I could fit an entire 6 days on one page and then flip over another 6 days on the next page. They define specific goals, or ask us to define specific playing goals for each week. We've been talking about goals, so I thought that was a good thing. And then they particularly ask to break down those goals into mini tasks. So this really means we're focusing on specific things. Okay? And they're suggesting 4 mini tasks a day and taking time for a warm-up before doing the 4 tasks, and then including review time so that one can write notes about how your practice went. This went well, this still needs work, this is coming along. I've got my metronome speed up too, all of those things. They have such things on this sheet that includes a practice breakdown. We've got such things as the date, start time, stop time, planned time, and actual time. And I put these like this because start and stop time tells us exactly. Okay, I started at 6:05. I finished at 7:28. That's almost an hour and a half. But if I'm planning for 30 minutes, that's a long time, right? So if my planned time was 30 minutes, my actual time was almost 90. It might be important to notice to oneself in the remarks section that I'm tired after all of this, or I'm exhausted, or I feel like this really worked for me. I'm sorry I'm cutting off the top of my head, but when I go to playing my tenor recorder, I noticed already that my fingers aren't showing up for you. Okay, all of this was sparked because I was working on the first instrument in La Bergamasca, and for altos. Sorry. So one of the things I noticed, I'm just come from practicing all of that on the tenor, so my fingers are confused. But as I began practicing, I noticed that when I was doing silent practice, so here we're dealing with silent practice, in the second part of the first instrument on this on my alto, and it will be the same, even though the fingering is different when I switch to the tenor, and we have mm-mm. I'm not getting the fingering right. It's here, and then here, and then here, no, here. Yeah, you see, I'm not even, you're here. I'm trying to face here. My music stand is a bit far to the side. Can't look at everything. And as I began practicing, not just those notes, but even going I can feel how clumsy my fingers are moving. They're not moving smoothly. And then I began doing so I began using the different notes. Why am I doing this? That's not the F. No, it's because here an alto is playing the B flat. That's part of the problem. So now I'm trying to give myself different durations of the note on each playing. I'm just trying to get my fingers accustomed to where they need to be going. I've talked occasionally about finger dexterity, and finger dexterity is what this playing the recorder is all about. It's not enough to just lift up the fingers one by one and call us done. It's not that. Because there are going to be strange notes in there, and we're going to have to figure out how to do them. And getting our body to do it when we need it, that's the trick that we're all about. So now I said that, I was working on that with the tenor as well, because again, I've got a completely different set of things on a different register. Why am I doing the same thing? That's not an F. Actually, that is an F. But in this case, this is the F on the soprano, provided you don't have German fingering soprano, in which case this is your F. Which looks exactly the same, da-da-da-da, with our B flat. So it's going to be the same sort of confusion that we have. Okay, in the next 5 minutes, I wanted to spend a few moments bringing on our second instrument. I'm still going to be using the same two metronome. Normally I would call this the second line, but this is our second instrument, and it can be either the tenor, the soprano, or even the alto. Remember though, when you're playing the alto, there are two notes that you can't play unless you switch up an octave right in the middle of the piece. So I'm going to start with this. Yes, I'm playing quietly. So how's that going to come across? I've set my metronome at 112. We've gotten up there last lesson. So how's it going to differ on our alto second? So I am missing, when I play the alto in the second, as the second instrument, I am missing the two E's. I'm counting them, going on and hitting the last F. This is important to be able to do that. Right now, it's two notes. There can be entire bars of music where your instrument is not playing anything, and you may have to count off the bars. Two notes is relatively short. This is Recorder 101. This is the easy stuff. So getting that type of practice in is important. So if you have an alto, be sure you practice that. Unfortunately, there's nothing on this music that your sopranos and tenors can't play. Anyway, that's the lesson for today. We'll work on getting another lesson up for next week, and for the week after next, lesson number 19, I'm going to introduce a piece that you're not the whole piece, but bits and pieces of the piece, so that you will have something to work towards. So anyway, practice sheet coming your way.